Hello and welcome to today's Fertility Live Q&A Wednesday. So every single Wednesday at this time, wherever you are around the world, which is 12:30 p.m. UK time, where I am broadcasting live from. I've got a lot of clients in Perth, Western Australia, so for you it's 8:30, but every Wednesday, tune in and I can answer your fertility questions. Today, I've got 3 very different questions. I try just to do one topic per day, but as these clients of mine, it's something that I really want to help them with, so I thought I would get their answers to them today. Now, it's following on from what's happening in the Fertility Help Group. Just to let you know, this particular live, when I do go live, is a public platform. So I know that a lot of you don't want to leave comments, etc. You don't have to. You can leave your comments over in the Fertility Help Group, and I can always answer more of your questions if I don't answer them to the full extent that you understand them and can work with them today. Because the thing is, it's not just about knowledge. I want you to apply what I teach you, because that's what gets results. I've been in the industry for 12 years. I've been helping women who the odds have been turned against them. People are turning them away from clinics and doctors saying there's no hope, to then go on and have multiple children. So, you know, I've been doing it for 12 years. This is my calling, this is my gift, and this is what I'm giving back to you all. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to say we've got so many new members now, I think over 550 of you. And I just want you to know that like attracts like. So the women in the group that are drawn to the Fertility Help Group, they're women that are going to be like you. So reach out to them. They can be your friends. They're all over the world. And it's something that, you know, if you've got a question at any time, put it into the private Fertility Help Group. No one else is going to see it unless they're in the group. And if you're unsure if there's a friend or family member in the group, then just have a look at the members and you'll see the members list. But it's perfectly safe, and it's great seeing so much response from everyone else now. I think for a little while people were just reading and not really responding, and now they're quite active, especially because we're doing the 30-day challenge, the 30-day de-stress challenge, because fertility doesn't work if you're stressed. If you understand the way the body works, if you understand physiology, you'll know that we have a central nervous system, and the central nervous system is either in fight or flight, which we call the sympathetic nervous system, or it's resting, healing, digesting, and fertility is turned on. You cannot be in both. That's the parasympathetic, and that's the mode that I need you to be in for fertility. And if you're looking at it through Eastern medicine, for example, traditional Chinese medicine, they talk about that as the yin. You need to be in the yin mode, and as opposed to being in the yang mode. The yang mode is what we need to get out of bed in the morning, that burst of energy that helps us to get out of the house on time to be at work, or, you know, to perform well when we're doing speeches or talks or presentations at work, or whatever it may be. And then you want to go back into healing, to rest, to digest, back into that feminine mode, the feminine energy. If you want your body to respond like a female, you need to be predominantly in that female energy, which means you need to be in healing mode. So yes, you can still work. There's definitely not a problem working. It's just about managing your stress. And I have an amazing technique which helps to de-stress the body. It's combined with a traditional Chinese medicine movement and a Qigong movement. So I have trained in Qigong to instructor level, and the style of Qigong, there's over 360 different styles. And that style is from Taekwondo, and it generates from Dr. Il-Chi Lee, and that's over in Korea. And one of the movements that I was taught, which actually crosses over into the yoga spectrum, is the washing machine, where you just literally have your arms down by your side and you're twisting. That's it, just twisting. So twisting once to one side is count number 1, to the other side number 2. Your arms are floppy, and what you're doing is you're articulating the spine. When you articulate the spine, it helps your immune system to come into balance, which is really important, because you need to have a healthy immune system. You don't want to be getting colds, particularly if you're doing assisted fertility. They'll dose you up with antibiotics, which is not good for your energy field, and will affect your ability to resist bigger pathogens as you get older, and will inhibit babies' immune system as well. So you want to avoid antibiotics as best you can. And this is going to help you to do that. In addition, it says in traditional Chinese medicine, if you do 360 twists every single day, you will never get sick. And this might sound far-fetched, but it helps the body to go back into the parasympathetic nervous state. Hey, thanks for joining me. Thanks for the like. Any questions, guys, at any time, please just jump on in or a comment and I can get to you live. That's the whole benefit of these lives. So we've got a lot to cover today. I'm going to dive into some of these questions. And before I do, let me just grab my laptop. Hello, Charlotte. Thanks for watching. Okay, I had a lady, she was on Instagram, and she found some really interesting information which she thought she'd share. So basically, there's, I'll show you. So I'm reading from this little excerpt from a book. And it says here that genes respond to our environment in a dynamic fashion every day, all day. There is always an emotional component, some triggering event inside the body that initiates disease process. It would be detrimental to focus only on genes while ignoring lifestyle and environment, for these are the true controllers of our destiny. I love that. I'm so grateful for you for sharing that for me. I'm not going to mention the names because it's confidential because I'm going on a live platform. But she knows who she is because she knows that she sent them to me and I said that I would mention it today. I love that. You know, what we're talking about here is epigenetics, and that's what I do. So the reason why I have an 80% success rate worldwide is because we look at managing, hello Cherie, we look at managing what's happening on top of the genes, how to turn the right genes on so that you can have a happy, healthy baby, and turn off the diseased genes, the genes that are not in a state of ease. We need you to be in a state of harmony, because we are energy beings and we move through what we call harmonics. And so when your vibration is high, we know that you're in flow and you're receiving divine abundance and you're receiving divine guidance and your body is thriving, which is so, so, so important, which is why I did that seminar in January, on the 5th of January. It's available to watch all throughout January, then it's coming down. So please, if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. And if you've got the VIP bundle, you've got the ebook that comes with it, so it's fully explanatory, and it's going to help you to listen to your emotions, because your emotions are working all the time, and they're telling you whether you are in a fertile state or not, because your fertility is a reflection of your well-being. And in this day and age, when we're such high achievers and we want to have a career, we want to be successful, we want to have financial abundance, and yet we also want to have babies. The body can have both. You just need to be in the right mindset. And that's something else I want to talk about just briefly. I've had a number of clients, physical clients that have signed up to do my online fertile lifestyle course, but also people who have just recently joined the group, and a number of them want twins. And one wrote in and said, how do I have twins? And what medicine do I need to take? And I responded by saying, it's not about the medicine per se, it's about your mindset, because your mind is constantly manifesting your reality. What's happened so far, if you're not successful with fertility, it means you've got some kind of lack mentality going on, something that's blocking you. It could be due to something you can unearth with Fertility Mind Mastery. There's lots of different streams to Fertility Mind Mastery where we're looking at unearthing what are the physical, emotional, mental forms of resistance that I've got with being a mum, or it could be around childbirth, or it could be what happens when you have a child and dealing with the in-laws, or it could be anything. And a lot of the time it's unconscious. So when you find out what the unconscious blockages are, we dissolve them. You can then be open to having this. And if you really, really want to have twins, then we can focus on that. There's certain mental strategies, because your mind controls a lot of the hormones, and obviously it is the controlling center of the body. Now, if you believe something can work, you manifest that, you create that, it changes your physiology. And there's lots and lots of authors around the world that talk about this, and they say, you know, I was told by doctors I'd never walk again, and I refused to believe that. And even though my spine was so messed up after an accident, I meditated and focused and saw myself walking, and now I'm, walking around normally. For example, that's Dr. Joe Dispenza's life story. You can have a look at what he talks about, and he's written the book, The Placebo Effect. And so what you believe, you create, whether you've created your fears or not. So there's a lot of things that you can do to shift your consciousness, because we are expansive beings. We are constantly creating our reality. So when you understand the science and the spirituality behind that concept, you can thrive, which is what this is talking about here. You know, it's the environment of your cells. This is the whole of my protocol that I teach. And when you change the environment of your cells, you will be thriving, because your cells are influenced by how you think, how you feel, what you're eating, the quality of your sleep, how you're managing stress, because stress puts your body in an acidic environment. And I say to a lot of my clients, I could put you on a desert island and where there's no stress per se, and you know, all your needs are met and you've got the best diet, the best nutrition. But if you've got relationship issues, for example, which is causing you a little bit of upset, then there's going to be some strain in the body, disharmony, creating dis-ease. Your cells are not in a state of ease, and that could be turning fertility off and creating an acidic environment. Any kind of stress creates an acidic environment. If you're in pain, if you've got back pain, for example, then there's going to be raised levels of cortisol in the body because it's a stress response. And also you're in your sympathetic state, so you're in your yang state, you're in your fight and flight state, so you cannot be healing, and so your fertility is being turned off. So when you start managing what we call the epigenetics side of it, epi means on top, genetics is the gene, so what's the puppeteer of your genes is what is going to be creating healthy eggs and helping you to hold your pregnancy through to full term. That's why it's such a beautiful experience, because we have a whole new body every 7 years. You can look at the research done by Dr. Deepak Chopra about that. He's written several books. And because we can have a new body every 7 years, we know our cells are constantly changing. We know we've got new gut lining regularly. Everything's changing. So if we change our mindset, we're going to change the physiology. And it's about changing your beliefs. And this fertility journey is a beautiful time that just shines a spotlight on you and says, if you want to be this mum to this child that you've responded to, this baby is hovering around you, or babies are hovering around you, and you're responding to the calling. And when you do, because you're probably having a rainbow warrior child, I find most of my clients are, means you're having a very conscious child, a leader, a born leader here to change, to make change here on planet Earth. So you need to step up, transmute the stuff that's in your bloodline that's causing you to have the issues that you do. They could be physical issues, mental issues, emotional issues, personality issues, and you can transmute them. There's some powerful meditations that I do with my clients. One-to-one, I do very specific ones, and I also have them in my group, the online fertile lifestyle course. There's over 150 meditations. You don't have to listen to all of them, but you choose the ones that are specific to what can benefit you. So when you apply that, and the key is, these meditations is the best medication, because it's putting your body into thrive mode and receive mode simultaneously. I've talked about this in my seminar, so I won't go on any further. But there's one other little snippet that this lady had sent me, and that is talking about our genes. We must be crystal clear that genes respond to our environment in a dynamic fashion all day. There is always an environmental component, some triggering event inside the body that initiates the disease process. It would be detrimental to focus on genes while ignoring lifestyle and environment, the true controllers of our destiny. That was the first one she sent, which I read earlier. Now she also sent, the human body is not a machine. It is an organism housing life, energy, and consciousness that is capable of self-correction. The body will heal itself when the conditions change inside the body to create health. Remove what is offending the body and add what is needed, and the body will heal itself. Isn't that powerful? It really is. It's exactly what I talk about on my Fertile Lifestyle program, and I'm helping you to not just read this and go, wow, that's great, but then how do you apply it? And that just leads on to the other two questions I received today. For example, one came from a lady the first thing this morning, and she said, how do I deal with feeling like everything is on top of me? I just woke up and I'm feeling really crap. Now, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for reaching out. This particular client, she's done my fertility seminar and she's got the VIP bolt on. So she's getting 30 days of support after watching the seminar. So I'm giving her daily support on how to read her emotional guidance system and then put her back on track. And I can do this for you too. But if you're like her, and some days, maybe today even, you feel it's very difficult to be dealing with what feels like the weight of the world on top of you and just leaving you feeling really crap. So she's so focused, this client of mine, I love her to bits. She's so focused on making it work for her this year. 2019 is her year. She's focusing on twins. It's going to happen. And she's dealing with a lot of pressure, a lot of relationship pressure, not directly to do with her partner, but the whole family that's involved. And it weighs her down because it is, you know what it's like when you fall in love with someone. And I've got stepchildren, so I know what it's like when you fall in love with someone and then it's like, oh, you've got a family, so you have this instant family that you have to deal with. So you go from being single to bam, you're this mum, the stepmom of multiple children, but you still have the mum hat on when you have the children, and it's a big shock to the system. And it can take some getting used to because there's a lot of different dynamics, personalities, ex-wives, and it's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of pressure, and you want to be the best support to your partner, and you want to have a good relationship with the children, and you're juggling all these things instantaneously. And so that's why it can be a lot of pressure. But even if you don't have those exact pressures, but sometimes you wake up and you feel like, how do I deal with this feeling that everything is on top of me? Okay, so you're feeling pressurized, and it's just from your perspective. It's purely from your perspective. So I want you to just acknowledge, okay, I'm feeling under pressure. You can talk to yourself rationally and ask, what is it? What is the pressure that I'm feeling? Okay, is it because I've got to do X, Y, and Z today? I'm feeling overwhelmed. Whatever it is, identify with what it is and be okay with it. Say, where am I holding it in my body? It's okay for me to feel like this. Be kind to yourself. And then after 90 seconds, you don't have to time yourself, but roughly 90 seconds, that emotion becomes a choice and a habit. And now you're choosing to reclaim your power. And you're going to say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. This is because my perspective is too narrow. I'm focusing on what's happening physically around me, and I need to have more trust in God, the divine, source creator, that I can do this. I know I can do this. I can have a great day today, and I can keep my fertility turned on despite the stresses. I know that because when I do X, Y, and Z this morning, it's going to make me feel really good. So put your favorite song on. Do a couple of yoga stretches if that makes you feel good. Another client who's asked me some questions, and I'll get back to that in a minute, asks about her gym routine in the morning. So it depends on what makes you feel good. Do something to shift you out of that state where you're feeling overwhelmed, because you're giving your power away to a learned behavior that you have adopted. It served you one time, but it doesn't serve you anymore, and it's blocking your fertility now. So reclaim it. No one is stopping you from getting pregnant, holding your pregnancy through to full term this year. Let 2019 be your year. So become aware. Okay, what am I thinking that isn't congruent, it isn't correct, it isn't in line with ultimate truth? Because that's why I'm feeling less than in flow right now. That's why I'm not feeling a state of peace, and I'm not feeling a state of joy, and I'm not feeling a state of happiness. And you don't have to feel those emotions the whole time. You're always going to be fluctuating, but you have control of how you respond to those emotions, because your emotions are not you, and your thoughts are not you. They are an aspect of your personality, and they're guiding you to say, hey, you're on track, you're on path, you're open to abundance, things are in flow for you, or you come off. So open your mind. And sometimes the easiest way to open the mind is just to open the heart and go, how can I look at this situation with more compassion for these individuals, more compassion for myself? You're not Superwoman, you're not Wonder Woman. You are you, and the you that your physical body has limitations. And be kind to yourself and go, okay, I want to nurture you. I want to make you feel better. But I believe in you, and I believe that you can get through what you're finding is very challenging right now. So do something that lifts your emotions into a high vibration state. That's so important. So when you wake up feeling really, really crap, what happens is when you're dreaming, and even if you don't remember your dreams are in your 7th layer of your body, and you connect to the 7th dimension, and you go even further than that if you don't remember your dreams. So you're in your 8th layer or beyond. When you come back into consciousness, because you were in unconsciousness before, when you come back into consciousness, you pick up from the exact spot that you left off when you fell asleep. So you might not have been conscious, but you were already feeling a little crap when you went to sleep. And then you've just gone back into, not feeling so good this morning. So honor it. All right. I've got certain thought patterns which are making me feel out of alignment. And I need to open my mind to a new perspective. If I open my heart to be loving all of these individuals that I'm going to be serving today, if that's what it is, if it's stress about what's going to unfold with certain people in the day, or whatever it may be, if I could open my mind to it, then I know that I'm open to new possibilities and new potentials. And tonight can be really easy, or today can be really easy, whatever the mindset block is, because you might be thinking, I just can't be bothered with what's going to happen later. Then focus on a shift. No, I'm going to enjoy this. I know I'm going to enjoy this. And I'm going to be open to people being really nice to me, to being kind to me, to being appreciative of what I'm going to be doing for them, to see me, to hear me. And I'm going to be in a space where I can see them and hear them too. And do whatever it takes to rebuild your foundation of joy, to rebuild your foundation of peace. I find peace is an easier option because joy's creating a little bit more of an energy lift, whereas joy can be, I'm still with this, I'm okay with this, there's no resistance with this, and you're empowered. And that's where you are. You are an empowered being. You are radiant and you are expansive. And that's why it's time for you to shine and to be in that state of, okay, if I'm not shining, if I'm not radiant, if I'm not feeling these things, if I'm not feeling peaceful, do what it takes for you to feel peaceful. And I know that you know what it takes to make you feel peaceful because I've been working with you on that. So it just comes down to shifting, okay? Acknowledging and then shifting, because you have a choice. After 90 seconds, it's a habit, you're moving on. And you're staying re-empowered and not allowing your energy to be drained by this negative mindset. Because that's what it is. It's a mindset shift. And like I said, if you can't shift it in the mind, focus on opening your heart. Let your heart open like a rose coming into bloom. A rose is a sacred ancient fertility symbol. It opens and it softens. And allow the opening and softening to spread like a vortex that gets bigger and bigger across the whole of your chest and upper back and up towards your head, because you cannot be in your heart and your head at the same time. If you're feeling overwhelmed, then you're in your head. If you're feeling peace, compassion, love, kindness, you're in your heart. So drop down to your heart. Just feel the heart opening and softening, and that means you're dropping into your heart, into your being state, into your essence, which is the same essence that is an extension of God, Creator. So any questions, just let me know privately, or as in the fertility help group, or be bold and brave and do it now in the live. Okay, now moving on. So say you want to be working out, and I've got a client here who says, do you have any, if you like to exercise, for example, go to the gym, use weights in the morning, when is the best time to do it? When is the best time to do it in the morning? With your fertility routines. Sorry, I'd cut the page off. So I'll just read that again. If you like to exercise, for example, go to the gym, use weights in the morning, when is the best time to do it, to work in the morning with your fertility routines? Okay, so she then went on to say, do you have any thoughts of certain types of gym exercises that are counterproductive for fertility? So let's answer these together. The gym is good if you enjoy the gym. The only downfall with the gym is if you're doing high intensity exercises, because that's too yang and it's it's activating the sympathetic nervous system too much, okay? You're in fight and flight. Yes, it's great for fat burn, but it's not good for fertility because you're in stress mode, okay? When you're in that heightened state, then your body doesn't know the difference. If you're running because a tiger's chasing after you, because you're running as fast as you can, for example, in those short bursts, or you're not. So what you want to do is be in a state where you're enjoying your exercise and not in that fight or flight mode. Yes, you can raise the heart rate, but you're smiling with it, okay? You're not putting on your ultra competitive cap and trying to be the best, because that's very masculine. It's a very masculine energy, very yang. And we need you to be functioning in the feminine energy. So when you do weights, for example, and they move your pelvis, when your pelvis moves out of alignment, that can inhibit fertility. We need you in the right alignment. So if you're not sure if you've got the right pelvic alignment, go and see an osteo and they will check that for you. If you've ever fallen and injured your coccyx, that can be preventing fertility from occurring as well, or holding your pregnancy. So please go and check that out. So for weights, I'm not a big fan of heavy weights, because if you misalign the movement, you will put your pelvis out and then it just inhibits fertility. But doing things that you enjoy, so whatever your gym routine is, whatever the weights are, as long as you're in that healing mode, okay? I hope that makes sense. So it's not high intensity mode, then you're fine. So I do recommend yoga. Fertility yoga is the best thing. Walking is really good. Swimming, as long as you're in the ocean and not in a chlorinated pool, because chlorine causes cancer, and anything that causes cancer inhibits fertility. So they're the exercises that would be counterproductive for fertility. But how do you manage a fun gym routine and doing your fertility specific exercises? Okay, fertility specific exercises are ones that get the oxygenated blood flow to the reproductive system and to balance your central nervous system and to make sure that your digestive system is functioning. So therefore, you're not in fight or flight, because all your blood will go to your extremities away from your digestive system. So you want to whatever exercise in the gym that works through the waistline without doing sit-ups. You do not want to do sit-ups for fertility. So anything that targets that area, stretching around the hips, the hip flexors, works into the glutes, the quads, works into your hamstrings. This is really good for fertility. And especially if it brings you joy, then that's your fertility movement. Anything that puts you in a heightened state of joy is the best thing for fertility. And then you might say to me, but these heavy weights make me feel fantastic when I have the release of endorphins. The issue is putting your pelvis out of alignment, okay? So you've got to find that balance. And the more you're doing my Fertile Lifestyle program, the more active your intuition becomes. So listen to your body and not your head. Listen to your body. So if you're drawn to do something, then it's coming from within. So do that. If you've got specific questions around specific movements, then please ask. But if you're trying to get your fertility routines done, that might be different to the exercises. Maybe it's your meditation. You're like, how do I juggle gym, weights, meditation, some detoxing, all in the morning before I go to work? All right, so what you can do is shorten your fertility routine per se. Meditation is key. And if you meditate in the morning, it has a really powerful effect for the whole day, puts you in that healing mode for the whole day. However, I'd ideally like it if you can meditate twice a day, before you go to sleep at night, or before actually when you come home before dinner is a better time. So maybe manage it that way. Your detox routines, like the body brushing and the oil pulling, that can be done simultaneously when you're doing other things. So maybe it's best that you kind of show me the window, or message me, or message into the group, the fertility help group, the window of time that you have and what you want to be doing, and how then I can just tweak the exercises that you'd be doing. So I don't know what you're referring to when you say the morning fertility routines, because there's lots of things that's covered, unless you want to message me now live and I can help you live. But that's also why I've got the 30-day challenge of the washing machine. That can be fantastic for you to detoxify the body through the breath. That's the natural way to detoxify. So you're breathing out, releasing unwanted things, physically, mentally, emotionally, letting them go. And as you do your 360 twists throughout the day, it doesn't have to be all in one go. If you do it in the morning, because it works with your circadian rhythm, it's going to give you energy. So you could do maybe 100 in the morning, you could do 100 when you get home from work, and 100 before bed, and 60 every time you've got the kettle on for your herbal teas, of course, no caffeinated tea, because caffeine and chocolate puts your body into fight and flight mode, which turns fertility off. Caffeine and chocolate, anything sugary, puts you in that fight and flight mode. There is some okay chocolate. You need to check the sugar source, etc., etc. So if you're having natural chocolate without the cane sugar, and it's all organic, etc., that can be better for you, but it still is a sympathetic drive, so it's still going to give you that big boost. If you are craving chocolate though, just on that note, it's often a sign that you're craving magnesium, and you crave magnesium when your body is stressed for a prolonged period of time. The first thing that gets used up is magnesium, and it's an essential mineral that we need. So you can get magnesium supplements. They help you to sleep at night. If you've got any questions about which supplements to take for magnesium, let me know. If you've got a product that you're using, take a picture of the ingredients, put it into the fertility help group, and I can tell you whether that's a good one or not. You've got to be dodging the fillers, the binders, and you might not be familiar with the ingredients, so I can definitely help you with that. So it seems like I've got no more questions. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been a beautiful Q&A session. Lots of information that got shared, and if you've got any more questions between now and next Wednesday, please post them into the fertility help group, and I look forward to serving you live every Wednesday here. Otherwise, I do regular lives in the fertility help group too. So thank you so much for tuning in, and please share this video with anyone who you know might benefit. They might be on the fertility path, they might not, because there's lots of other tips and techniques here to just bring you back into a state of well-being. Because when you are a well-being, you are thriving, you are balanced, you're in flow, you've got health, you've got harmony. So on that note, lovely ladies, bye for now.